Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new or just clicked on this video, thank you very much. My name is Alexis and this is the Goddess of Daydreams Tarot. Today we are going to be doing a Kali Oracle reading, considering a lot of shifting powerful energies are happening as we speak. I figured we could use some guidance from Kali during these troubling times. So with that said, we're going to get right in. We're going to see the messages or energies and insight Kali wishes to share with the collective and other energies for us to be aware of, to be open for, and cautious of. So sit back and relax. This is a timeless reading, and please take what resonates. All right, Kali, what do you have for the collective? All right, we have the Kamala Devi. Very beautiful card here. Card 25. The number 25 could resonate with you. Let's go into more detail about this beautiful looking card. Okay, come on through. I don't need you to act up right now. We witness her beauty, and all struggle melts into grace. Upon a grateful sight, the heart softens into her protection and radiates peace. Her presence transforms frustration into inspiration, fatigue into replenishment, and overactivity into effortless attraction. She is the golden pathway of divine manifestation and peaceful contentment. She empowers your heart to receive with the same generosity, openness, and grace that you express when you give freely and joyfully. Abundant divine blessings are upon you. The 10th of the 10 Mahaviryas, the wisdom goddesses, is the gracious goddess Kamala. Her presence reminds us not to make things more difficult for ourselves that they need to be. Sometimes the assumption of burden is necessary for our growth. At other times, growth happens when we learn to cast the burden aside, understanding that we will be able to offer so much more when not carrying another when not carrying another on our backs. So to speak, sometimes a more graceful path evokes greater spiritual progress, which ultimately benefits all beings. Kamala Devi holds the wealth generating, life force protecting qualities of preservation and cultivation. If we are used to always giving out, even if we receive a lot, but consistently overshare or leak our energies, she teaches us the loving art of self-valuing. This is not selfishness, but self-care. When we care for ourselves, we show respect for who we are and what we have to offer. That respect is an energetic broadcast that repels lower level energies. It gives us the firmness of mind to set boundaries wisely while attracting opportunities and pathways for expansion. All right. Where is my water? So this is a really, even though this card is very beautiful, is very the very powerful statement that I am getting through this card is we are in a time that we need to set boundaries and we need to be more aware of our and brain get it together. We need to be aware of our power and authority. I feel for a lot of us in the collective, our authority and our light has been trampled by many because of the lack of boundaries. Because unfortunately, we live in a time right now where people find it more beneficial to be inconsiderate of others. So they will take advantage of your kindness. They will take advantage of your efforts. They will take advantage of your love. If they see that they can take advantage of some type of aspect of you, they will. and they will seize the opportunity to get what they want for you while you are high and dry. Excuse me. All right, sorry. Kamala Devi is here to say no more of that. You are deserving of better. You are deserving of blessings. You are deserving of peace and replenishment. But in order to do that, you have to reclaim your power and you have to set the boundaries. Because again, we're in a time right now that the Dark Collective, as I would say, are rampant when it comes to draining people's energies, draining people's life forces, taking anything that they feel entitled to. Well, you are entitled to your power. You are entitled to your authority. You are entitled to say no. You are entitled to say stop. You are entitled to protect your energy. Let's pull another card here. Okay. It's a little messy. Okay. So I have She Who Surrenders, Estefania, Chains, Bondage, Release. So I feel for, okay, I see what's going on here. So Spirit is kind of letting me know, like, the enemy is trying to trick the collective into surrendering to their ways. This is the way you have to live. This is the way things need to be. This is the way how the world works. I'm pretty sure a lot of us heard that when something messed up or something horrible happens to somebody else because of other people's actions and behaviors, it would just be like, oh, well, that's how the world works. No, that is not how the world works. And it doesn't have to work that way. I mean, I'm pretty sure back in times when slavery was rampant in my country, the U.S., it was probably said the same thing. Oh, that's how the world works. Well, not everyone wants to be in chains and be in bondage. Give me a second. And okay, Spirit is saying, unfortunately, there is still a lot of us that are more spiritually chained and in bondage, and we need to be released from that. And that is sort of like, how do you want me to explain this, Kali? When you accept certain behaviors and actions and lack of efforts or low vibrational energy into your life, you're welcoming to be bondage to that low vibration. You're welcoming to be binded to those unfair laws. Like, you're binding yourself away from the law of attraction. You are chaining yourself and denying yourself the path of abundance and healing because you believe that someone had told you that's how the world works or it is the way it is, and you decide to believe that. For some of you, looking with this, She Who Surrenders, again, it's like the enemy expects you to surrender to their ways. At the time that I'm doing this reading for my country, like, we just got, how can I delicately talk about it without talking about it? Certain files, not even certain files, but certain emails have gone out or have been leaked showing that certain prominent, powerful figures have done nefarious and depraved things for many, many years. And I have seen someone like, oh, what's the point of all of this? Like, nothing's going to happen. First of all, why would you speak that way? And second of all, if for someone to speak like that and you decide to agree with them, you surrender your power to these depraved people. And they will continue leeching off of your energy and taking your abundances and taking your energies and taking your healing and your birthrights away from you, because that's how the way things are when they should not be in the first place. And we have the power to change that. And one way to change that power is not to surrender to these depraved people, to the depraved ones. We do not surrender our light, our boundaries, our abundances, our authority to those who just feed off of greed, who feed off of, what's the word I'm looking for? Who feed off of greed, who feed off of innocence. Don't dress up your chains with glitter and satin. Yeah, okay, hold on. Yeah, Spirit saying like don't dress up your chains with glitter and silk and satin. Like don't romanticize and be comfortable in the uncomfortableness that your body and spirit and soul are in. Don't romanticize surrendering to the enemy's will or to the enemy's ways, because if not, this cycle, it will not be broken, and you will always be depraved, and not depraved, but you will always be depleted, and your light and your energy will be gone. You'll be nothing but a battery to the supply system for these people, another cog to whatever machine that they will continue to leech off of people for many, many years to come. I kind of feel like with this Kamala Devi here, she's letting us know like you need to take your power back now. You need to enforce your boundaries now. You need to take action now, because if you don't, the enemy will continue to expect you to surrender and to be comfortable in your chains. Give me a second. Hold on. I'm gonna pull a card from another deck. I wasn't planning to use this deck, but I will. I think I'll just pull 3 cards. Okay, Spirit, and let me get one more. Oh, I can barely see that card. Let me see if I can. Nice. Okay. So, first card I have is pride, self esteem, self worth, ego. I feel for some of you, you feel like you don't want to close yourself off too much because you don't want to seem like you're being in your ego, or like, Spirit, how can I explain this? You don't want to seem too prideful. Let's just say that. But you have to hold, Spirit, help me with this. You should be able to be prideful in yourself. Don't weaponize it, but use it as a sense of protection. Okay, I see. Thank you, Spirit. Because when you are in a positive, prideful energy, you are strengthening your self-worth and your self-esteem. You should be proud of the no's and the boundaries that you do set, because it shows to these enemies that your power is not to be taken, very easily. You are commanding respect. You are commanding your presence to be seen, to be seen. You are letting the enemy aware of your dominance Or maybe for some of you, you need to let the enemy be aware of your dominance and, give them like that blockage. You have to give them the denial, the no. I'm being told for some of you, you probably have a problem saying no. You got to practice saying no these days, because if you do not say no, people take it as an invitation to come into your life and do whatever you want. Do whatever they want to you. Next, I have is treasure. Abundance, valuable enrichment. This is the energy that the collective holds. This is the energy that the collective emits and attracts many treasures in many ways, shapes, and form. And the enemy wants a hold of that. If they work on their own light and work on their own boundaries, they can achieve this treasure. But they have been accustomed to just taking it from people. They find it more easier, more malleable. Get it together. More malleable to absorb and to take. These are treasures that also the universe is waiting to grant to you. However, because you have not set up the proper boundaries and you have not kicked out certain energies out of your life and continue inviting certain energies into your life, either way, or this treasure cannot come to you. For a lot of you, it's like the enemy sees you as a bank. And if your bank is always going to have open doors and the vault is always going to be open, it's going to be easy for them to access and go in and out whenever they want. You need to close the vault and you need to set hours for the bank. Or you're going to have to, best way is to deny this person from entering your bank. Excuse me. Deny them the access. Spirit just told me loudly. Whoever is trying to come back into your life, or you feel some person that you don't have too much trust, or is giving you the butterflies in the stomach, deny them access so that they cannot take this treasure away from you. And if they come with you like, oh, well, you're being all up in your feelings, oh, well, your ego is all inflated, well, you know what? Like, if it's to protect my energy, go right ahead. And then last I have is mask. Deception, pretending, inconsistency. There is someone around you that, again, is trying to access this energy, this abundance, this power that you have. So they're going to pretend to be your friend. They're going to pretend to be on your side. They're going to pretend, like you have maybe control over them, and they feel like they're going to have control over you at this point. It's kind of like, maybe for some of you, I'm also getting with this mask energy here. Like, you might have to put a mask on yourself. Like, this can be a two-player game too, bitch. Excuse my language. Like, you here pretending to be for me, I'll pretend to be for you. And it's like, you don't want to play the enemy's games, but at some point you might have to play the enemy's games and wear a mask. Spirit is saying, and this may not be for all of you, you may pretend to surrender to this person or to this energy, but it is only to let their guard down. When they let their guard down, you will be able to see their weaknesses, and that is when you strike. Or when you are able to see your weaknesses, whenever, brain, get it together. When you are able to see their weaknesses, you are going to be able to calculate where you need to strengthen yourself and in your boundaries. You have to be very calculative in these situations, because don't think that the enemy is also watching your energies and watching your moves. They will make certain calculations themselves just to try to make sure that you feel bad and that you continue giving them your time and effort and energy to them. Yeah, this mask card is a very tricky one. Like, you need to know when to kind of, how can I put this? Know to when to be vulnerable, and then know when to defend and attack. I'm not getting so much attack, but just know when to be vulnerable so you can understand who you're dealing with. You'd be surprised that when you're vulnerable, how people will show their true face. Ah, thank you, Spirit. Yeah. When you are vulnerable, people are going to feel very comfortable and they're going to show who they are. And then you need to take whatever necessary steps to break out of these chains from this person, put whatever walls or blockages from this person's energies, and you need to move forward. Let's go into more detail with some tarot. Okay, not surprised to see that. If you hear like a weird whistling in the background, that's just my heater. Excuse me. Anyway, first card I have is the Devil. Not surprised. We are dealing with a lot of devilish energies during this time. For a lot of you, I feel you have been dealing with multiple devils in your lifetime and so forth. But this is just the energy that the collective is dealing with. Just this energy of control, this energy of taking, of absorbing. No remorse, no care. I'm just going to take, I'm just going to use, I'm just going to abuse. Whatever I want, I will have, and everything will be mine. Just a very dark energy. Like, this is beyond darkness. This is just like, it's an energy that it has consumed so many people that they're unrecognizable. Like, you can look at a person and you don't even know if they're human anymore because of the actions and the behavior that they have displayed, and then expect for everyone to be okay with it, to actually embrace it and allow it to continue to roam in these streets, in this world. And unfortunately, they feel entitled because many people have given them the entitlement. Like, I can go and take whoever I want, whatever I want, and do as I please because I have people who support me. I feel for a lot of you, you know someone like this in your life. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be an ex, it could be a boss, it could be a coworker. Just this energy of this energy of being depraved. Give me a second. This energy has no bounds. This energy does not believe in boundaries. When you set up a boundary, you weaken this devil energy. But that's when it comes to manipulate and control, like with the mask and Estefania, expecting you to surrender to their ways because everyone else has, so you must do it too. No, you're putting your foot down and you're saying, hell the F no. I am not surrendering to your greed. I am not surrendering to your lust. I am not surrendering to your wrath. I'm not surrendering to your ways. You're not surrendering into the enemy's ways. Give me a second. I am going to pull an extra card for this. Oh, okay. Wow. So with the devil, I have justice. This is like the most darkest entitled person I have felt in this energy in a reading. Like they definitely feel this is rightfully mine. Even though it's yours, it's rightfully mine. I feel like also for some of you, you could be dealing with a toxic Libra or a toxic Capricorn. But I'm feeling strongly a toxic Libra. Also, what I'm getting from the Justice and the Devil card here is how these evils have influenced the checks and balances within the world. For a lot of you, you may be dealing with a legal issue and you are realizing that you cannot get as far because this person, this devil energy, has a lot of dark influence over the people in the courts. Maybe paralegals, maybe lawyers. You are realizing that. It's like, damn, how am I supposed to, and then I will understand why people will get mad at God because it's like, God, we have all of these checks and balances and systems to make sure to regulate the evils and the justices in the world. And there has been an imbalance because the evils have influenced the checks and balances within this world. For a lot of you, if it's not dealing with the courts, it is just some aspect in life that you have realized that you have been treated unfairly when it comes to love, when it comes to work, when it comes to family dynamics. Someone is just feels like I'm in charge, I'm in power, you do as I say or you suffer. I am judge, jury, and executioner. But again, because with the Kamala Devi here, she's like, no, they have no power over you. Yes, they may have influenced many others, but that does not mean that they will have power over you or over everyone. You weaken them when you say no, when you stand up to them and say no, when you set your boundaries. You may not win the battle now, but you're not going to lose the war. You lose the war when you surrender to the enemy's ways. Next, I have is the Page of Swords here. So I feel, again, for some of you, you're going to have to be careful how you move around this person or these people because somebody is keeping tabs on you. Someone is spying on you, definitely through social media. They're seeing how you're acting. They're seeing where you go. They see the stuff that you talk about. And they will use it as a weapon against you. They will formulate. It's kind of like they're understanding what you do and who you are and concocting a certain poison to weaken you so that they can control you. So be careful with the information that you put out into the internet or that you are talking to somebody and you probably slip up and you might say certain things that you didn't mean to say out loud or that may be private because this person will take that information and use it against you so that you could be under this dark influence. Excuse me. Okay, something told me to go back to these two cards here. What the enemy or the devil loves to do is to give the illusion that they're winning. So this whole influence is because they cast an illusion that only I have the power, only I have the control, only I can say what happens. But that is just an illusion. When people realize that they are just only influenced, if they take control of their life, control of their boundaries, and start saying no, you will be surprised how fast this devil energy weakens so that this justice energy can come in and start to rebalance. When you will be the example that when you say no, other people can start to say no as well. when you start to set the boundaries and cut your energy off from this devil or from these devils, the same will follow with other people. Next I have is the Three of Swords. I feel like this energy is just, I feel like for some of you, you are in this kind of current energy, or you're trying to avoid this energy because, again, you don't want to ruffle feathers. You don't want to make people feel bad. You don't want to give yourself a negative reputation. But Spirit is saying, do you want to continue having these swords through your heart? Do you want to continue being stabbed through the enemy all the damn time? Do you want to continue walking through through life with these swords? These swords are just the energy that the enemy is using to control you and to control others. And if you remove that sword, it weakens them. Also, what I'm getting from this Three of Swords here is that each sword is a blockage of your abundance, of your healing, and of the path that is meant for you to be in. The swords are the way I'm looking at the swords here are also that they are the chains and bondages to your energy that the enemy feels entitled to. Let me get an extra card for this Three of Swords. A lot of air sign energy in this reading. You could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You could be dealing with one of these air signs, or you have these air signs in your birth chart. All right, so for the Three of Swords, I have the Five of Wands, along with the Page of Cups. So you need to fight for your energy for some of you. There is a renewal that needs to happen in your life that is scheduled to happen. But if the enemy continues to influencing you and keeping these swords in your heart, you are not going to get this renewal, this emotional healing that you need. It is like it's like a manipulation game at this point. But you're gonna have to fight, like especially with the Five of Wands card, you're gonna have to fight fire with fire. You're gonna have to show them, like, you think you can be just as you think you're the only vicious one. I can be vicious as well. Now, how you go about it, be very careful. You don't want to become what you're trying to fight, but you have to defend your energy and yourself from that I'm getting for some of you. For hold on, Spirit, what are you telling me here? Yeah, with this Five of Wands, Spirit is letting me know, like, you have to break out of this jail, or you have to break out of these chains that the enemy is holding you with. You need to break away from this influence. Because there is something here, especially with this Page of Cups, there is something here to give you the renewal, or what's the other word I'm looking for, Spirit? A confirmation about the energies that you have been thinking about this whole time. Maybe for some of you, you feel like, am I around certain bad influences? This Page of Cups is going to give you the answers that you need, which I feel majority of it is yes. You have been influenced by a certain negative person or negative people. Now, last I have, though, is the World. And I have the Ace of Wands here. You will break out of this dark influence. You will reclaim your authority, and you will set your boundaries. And especially with this Ace of Wands here, I love that it is here, because it is basically the vigor and the vitality that you need to eradicate whatever influence, bondages, and chains that the devil has placed over you and has placed over others. This cycle of bondage and chains and dark influences is over. Spirit is saying, I am no longer allowing the darkness to manipulate and control the masses. It is coming to an end. It can come to an end faster when the masses realize their power has been taken, has been chained, has been manipulated, and call it back to them. But it all starts with you mainly. When you take these steps to set your boundaries and call your power back and say no to the enemy and to the devil, and you take pride in that, you strengthen that energy, you strengthen the collective, and you strengthen for this cycle to close. And it will happen. The fact that we got the world and then we have an ace at the same time, this cycle is meant to close. The dark collective time is coming to an end, but they're trying to bring down and take as many with them. But you will be one less. Give me a second. Yes, thank you, Spirit. Let's wrap up this reading with one or a couple of messages from the Clow. Let me receive. All right, let me get one more, Spirit. Final messages from the Clow. Wow, as I said that, my ear was ringing. So yes, this cycle is coming to a close. You will not be taken by the enemy's power. You will not be their final sacrifice. All right. The first card I have is the Fly. Ascension, healing. You're leveling up. The energy that the Kamala Devi is ready for you to give. Hold on. Something's telling me she is ready to give you your wings. I'm not saying for you guys to you're going to pass. God forbid. I don't want, knock on wood, I wouldn't want anyone to pass during these times, but you are receiving your wings. You are receiving an elevation, an ascension, because you have blocked off the enemy's influence, their chains, and their tactics, that they can no longer control you or harbor your energy or manipulate you. Because now, with these with these boundaries placed, you have the space now to expand your wings and to fly and go where you need to go. So you can go towards your abundance. So you can go towards your new beginnings. So you can go towards your healing and revitalization. And then last I have is the loop. Now this is the energy that the Dark Collective has kept a lot of people in. Just constant fear-mongering, manipulation, and control. You are escaping this loop. You are going to be, whoever listens to this, you're going to be an example for others to see that you can break out of this cycle. You can break out of this loop. It is not infinite. It is not forever. Because we live in a world where not everything is permanent. The only thing that is constant in this realm, in this plane, is change and death. I'm not saying, again, I'm not wishing any death or wanting, anyone to die, God forbid, but those are two factors that are always a constant. But the way of the enemy and how they say things are the way they are, it is what it is. This is how the world is. You're breaking that lie. You're breaking that illusion. You are breaking that cycle of this negative, dark, depraved world that the enemy expects for everyone to accept to be in. You are not being in that vibration. You're not giving your power to those energies. You are not going to exist in a world where you are just a cog. You are a divine being. You're in a divine power and connection. And let the Kamala Devi, be a reminder that you have to enforce your power. You have to enforce your boundaries. You have to, take action in your authority, and do not feel bad about it, because if you don't, the enemy will manipulate you and make you feel less when you are much more stronger and much more stronger and powerful than they are. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Please give it a like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more insight and messages. I would definitely appreciate it, and it will give tremendous support to my channel. And thank you to the new and current viewers and subscribers for coming back to my channel to hear my messages. I really hope that this reading has given you the insight and energies that you need during this time. And if you feel that this reading did not resonate, no worries. Feel free to check out the other readings on my channel. There's definitely a message there for you. My collective, you're going to have to start saying no. Start putting your foot down and start taking back your energy. We will not allow the enemy to rule over us. We will not surrender to their dark ways. We will not surrender to their greed and to their lust and their depravity. We are divine beings of light, and it's time that we act like it. It is time for us to have restoration and rebalancing in this world, to take back the justices, to take back the justices, to take back the wealth, to take back the authority that we rightfully have and the right to be in. Excuse me. Many of you are like gold. Your energy is gold. Your life is a treasure. Don't allow these depraved ones to take it from you, to make you feel that only certain people are allowed to have this power, or allowed to have this energy, allowed to have this control. The only one who is in control is God. And the fact that God has given us free will, let's be grateful about that. So if we have free will, don't let these people believe that free will is an illusion and that they are the ones in control. We're taking that energy back. We are changing the storyline, and it starts with you. And with that said, stay safe and have a good day.